lot of us fans love looking back and asking, was that player actually as good as we remember? Or maybe you're new to this sport and wondering who are some of the underrated stars or forgotten busts. In this series, I want to take a look back and see how good was that player actually. Speed kills. No one proved that better than Chris Johnson, aka CJ2K. But how good was he really? Let's talk about Chris Johnson. Born in Orlando, Florida on September 23, 1985, Christopher DeWan Johnson wasn't exactly a top recruit coming out of high school. In fact, in 2004, he wasn't even ranked among the nation's top running backs. Johnson ended up choosing East Carolina over schools like Eastern Kentucky, USF, and UConn, and that decision would kickstart a journey nobody saw coming. He played all 4 years at East Carolina, but it was the senior year where he truly exploded on the scene. 236 touches, 1,423 rushing yards, and 17 touchdowns on the ground. Through the air, 37 receptions, 528 yards, 6 touchdowns. Don't forget the special teams, 36 returns for 1,009 yards and a touchdown. CJ did everything. He was a human highlight reel in college. That same senior year, East Carolina finished 8-5 and capped it off with a wild win over Boise State in the Hawaii Bowl. The NFL Combine, oh man, CJ put on an absolute show. He shocked the world by running a 4.24 40-yard dash, the fastest ever at that time. That record stood for almost a decade until John Ross ran a 4.22 in 2017. But even today, CJ holds the NFL Combine record for the 10-yard split, a blazing 1.4 seconds. He wasn't just fast, he was explosive. 35-inch vertical jump, 10 feet 10-inch broad jump, an elite performance across the board. No surprise then in the 2008 NFL Draft, the Tennessee Titans took him in the first round, 24th overall. CJ didn't waste any time making an impact in the NFL. In his rookie season, he started 14 games, played in 15, and racked up 251 carries, 1,228 rushing yards, 9 touchdowns. Straight out the gate, he was electric. The Tennessee Titans rode that momentum to an incredible 13-3 record, securing a first-round bye in the playoffs. Unfortunately, their postseason run was cut short in a tight 13-10 loss to the Baltimore Ravens. A tough ending, but CJ had officially arrived. He was already one of the more dangerous backs in the league. 2009, this is where Chris Johnson became CJ2K and put together one of the most insane seasons in NFL history. 358 carries, 2,006 rushing yards, 14 touchdowns, averaged a ridiculous 5.6 yards per carry, added 50 catches for 503 yards and 2 more TDs. That's a total of 408 touches for 2005 9 scrimmage yards in a single season. That's a record that still stands. He was named a Pro Bowler, first team All-Pro, and Offensive Player of the Year that year. The season didn't start off hot. In fact, the Titans opened up 0-6 with Kerry Collins at quarterback, but after week 7 bye, everything changed. They made the switch to Vince Young and they caught fire, winning 8 of the 10 of their last games to finish 8-8. Some of his best performances were week 2 versus the Texans. He had 16 carries, 197 rushing yards, 2 TDs, caught 9, 87 yards, and another TD. Week 8 versus Jaguars, 24 carries, 228 yards, 2 TDs. Week 12 versus the Cardinals, 18 carries, 154 yards, 1 TD, plus 32 more receiving yards. Week 10 versus the Bills, 26 carries, 132 yards, and 2 TDs. Week 17 versus Seahawks, 36 carries, 134 yards, and 2 TDs. In the end, the Titans came up just short of the playoffs, finishing 8-8. But CJ2K, he cemented himself as an all-time great. After his historic season in 2009, all eyes were on Chris Johnson in 2010. In 2010, while he didn't hit 2,000 again, he still put up elite numbers: 316 carries, 1,364 rushing yards, 11 touchdowns, 44 catches for 245 yards, and a receiving TD. Once again, CJ earned a Pro Bowl nod and still proved he's one of the league's top backs. The Titans started the year 4-4 with Vince Young at quarterback, but in Week 11, everything fell apart. During a Washington loss, Young tore a Felix tendon in his right thumb, ending his season. With the Vince Young out, the Titans had to turn back to Kerry Collins, who started the final 7 of 8 games. The result, the team finished 6-10 and missing the playoffs again. Before the 2011 season, CJ made it clear: no new deal, no training camp. The Titans didn't take long to respond, and they paid up 4 years, $53.9 million, $30 million guaranteed with a $13 million signing bonus. That made CJ the highest paid running back in NFL history at the time. Coming off his big payday, CJ entered the 2011 season looking to keep things rolling. CJ posted 262 carries, 1,047 yards, 4 touchdowns, 57 receptions for 418 yards, but no receiving scores. Solid numbers, but definitely a step down from the CJ standards the Titans fans and the NFLs were used to. The Titans made some big moves heading into the season, drafted Jake Locker with the 8th overall pick, signed Matt Hasselbeck to a 3-year, $20 million deal. Matt Hasselbeck started most of the season, but didn't bring the consistency the team desperately needed, wasting a solid defensive effort week after week. Locker got a few chances to show what he could do, but it wasn't pretty. 66 pass attempts, 34 completions, a shaky 51 completion rate. Accuracy issues were a real concern, and the quarterback situation was looking gloom. The Titans barely missed out on a wild card spot, finishing just outside the playoff picture. After a down year in 2011, Chris Johnson returned to form in 2012, putting up another strong season despite the chaos around him. In 2012, he had 276 carries, 1,243 rushing yards, 6 touchdowns, 36 receptions for 232 yards. A nice bounce back. But here's the thing, even though CJ was healthy all year, his touches dropped compared to his earlier seasons, and with poor quarterback play, he wasn't exactly set up to succeed. The Titans rolled with Jake Locker as the starter for most of the season, but didn't go as hoped. 11 games started, 4-7 record, 10 touchdowns, 11 interceptions. Inconsistent, inaccurate, and not the step forward the team was hoping for. And if that wasn't bad enough, the defense had completely fell off a cliff, finishing as one of the worst ranked units in the entire league. Final record of 6-10. In 2013, Chris Johnson was quietly solid, even if the Titans weren't going to go anywhere. He had 279 carries, 1,077 rushing yards, 6 TDs, caught 42, 345 receiving yards with 4 TDs. That marked his 6th straight 1,000-yard rushing season, which is nothing to scoff at. This year, the Titans brought in Ryan Fitzpatrick on a 2-year, $6.5 million deal, hoping for some QB stability, but there was no magic here. 9 starts, 3-6 record, 14 TDs, and 12 interceptions. Jake Locker was still on the roster, but injuries and inconsistency continued to plague him. The offense just couldn't move the ball when it mattered. The Titans ended the season at 7-9 with poor quarterback play and a middle-of-the-pack defense. What most fans didn't know at the time is Chris Johnson played the entire 2013 season with a torn meniscus in his right knee. He toughed it out for all 16 games, still putting up over 1,400 scrimmage yards. After the season, the Titans decided to move on. It was a business move. Not long after the release, CJ had signed a 2-year, $8 million deal with the New York Jets. $4 million per year, $3 million signing bonus with $3 million guaranteed. Chris Johnson's time with the New York Jets didn't exactly go according to plan. He started 6 games that season, but things were rough all around. 155 carries, 663 yards, 1 touchdown, caught 24 for 173 yards and 1 touchdown. A major drop off in production compared to his Tennessee days. The QB situation in the Jets was a disaster. They cycled through Geno Smith and Michael Vick, neither providing the stability the offense desperately needed. The team went a dismal 4-12 with an offense that couldn't find its rhythm. After the season, the Jets released Chris Johnson, and it was clear that the team was rebuilding, and CJ wasn't part of their long-term plans. Chris Johnson wasn't done yet. After a down year in New York, CJ signed a 1-year, $2.56 million deal with the Arizona Cardinals, and boy, he was ready to prove he still had it. And oh man, did he. 196 carries, 814 yards, 4.2 yards per carry, 3 touchdowns. He was top 3 in rushing yards for more than half of the season, showing flashes of his old form from his Tennessee days. For a good chunk of the season, CJ was looking like the Chris Johnson we knew and loved, explosive, fast, and making plays, looking like a key contributor in a high-powered offense. But then in Week 12, disaster struck. During a matchup against the San Francisco 49ers, CJ suffered a fractured tibia, an injury that ended his season prematurely. While CJ had shown he still had something left in the tank, the injury ultimately ended his 2015 campaign. After a strong 2015 resurgence, Chris Johnson wasn't ready to hang up the cleats just yet. On March 17, 2016, he re-signed with the Arizona Cardinals on a one-year, $3 million contract, hoping to continue his comeback. While CJ was looking for his place, David Johnson had emerged as the Cardinals' new star running back, quickly became the focal point of Arizona's offense, limiting CJ's role in the backfield. In October 2016, CJ's season hit another bump. He was placed on injury reserve after suffering a groin injury that ended up sidelining him for the rest of the season. CJ would go on to end the season with 95 rushing yards, 1 TD on 25 carries. Chris Johnson got another shot with the Arizona Cardinals in 2017. On July 2017, the Cardinals re-signed him to a one-year contract, hoping he could provide venture depth at the running back position. He was released on September 1st, only to be brought back on September 12th after injuries hit the Cardinals running back room. Chris Johnson played in 4 games during the 2017 season, but his role was limited. He had 45 carries on 114 rushing yards. So how good was CJ2K? In one word, electric. Chris Johnson may not have played as long as some of his contemporaries, but in his prime, he was one of the most dynamic, game-changing running backs we've ever seen. 2,509 scrimmage yards in a single season. That is not just great, that is historic. It's a number that still stands as an NFL record today.
Because young defense does before it gets great. And off. Johnson again! Watch out! Johnson! Speed! Touchdown!